Derek's obviously kindly asked me to come over and demonstrate the BigHand speech recognition utilising nuance technology. I think Derek finds it particularly amusing that my accent can produce results, as do most of my clients and prospects. It's to my advantage and something that I try to keep as natural as possible, and that's my Scotch accent. There's two versions of the solution that we have, client side and server side. Client side is the one which I would normally demonstrate first, simply as it's the more commonly thought of way in which speech recognition would work, and that is you will talk and the solution will type in front of you. Really, this morning I would normally ask my clients and my prospects to give me a topic to discuss. This morning I'll just discuss my morning and get myself over here. So what we'll see initially is what I would term as client-side recognition. Many thanks to Derek Austin and Nuance for inviting me over to their offices in North Shore, Sydney. The purpose being to demonstrate speech recognition utilising a strong Glaswegian accent. Full stop. New paragraph. I'm smiling and laughing simply as I haven't mentioned Glaswegian before, and when I did, I didn't think it would be accurate enough to get it. However, as I'm constantly surprised, the solution has worked again. Full stop. New paragraph. Quite often in demonstrations, people will ask me to mention Scottish place names, such as Auchtermuchty. Obviously you can't say scratch that, scratch that, full stop. The software seems to have no problem with proper nouns, and I'm therefore always happy to oblige by mentioning hometowns in Scotland. Full stop. I think my accent's probably rather strong. Bear in mind, my accent's actually West Coast. A Glaswegian would correct you. I'm not Glaswegian, I'm from Port Glasgow, which is perhaps about 25 miles from Glasgow. Enough that a Glaswegian would notice and offer me a fight, but most other nationalities would just accept it as being Glaswegian.
So what do you think of the interview?
The skit?
The skit. Oscar.
Fantastic. It's worked an absolute treat for me over in Australia. So many of my clients hadn't seen it. But also back in Scotland, I've got quite a few friends from different nationalities who absolutely love it. The 11 kind of, it's very significant. Take me to level 11. No. New paragraph. 11. New paragraph. 11. Floor 11. Level 11. 11.
Please open the door.
Please open the doors. Open the doors.
What was that Mel Gibson stuff?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying freedom and start that nonsense. Level 11.
But is the reputation of the Glaswegian accent deserved? Like, is it really the hardest accent to understand in Scotland, do you think, or are there worse accents?
In Scotland, I think there's worse accents in Scotland. If you hear Aberdonians, they're very broad and very colloquial in the way in which they speak. No, I don't think we're the hardest. Bear in mind, we speak Scots. We don't necessarily speak English. We have our own dialect.
Oh, I've heard that. In terms of the speech recognition software, were you surprised when you first tried speech recognition that it actually worked for you, or were you expecting it to be okay?
I had tried it before. quite a few times. And then when I started working with BigHand, I thought the solution had improved dramatically. And then I think about 3 or 4 years ago, I seen a significant improvement, enough to make me confident to use it on a daily basis.
Okay, so you've been in Australia, what, about a year now?
A year and 2 months.
What's the reaction been of Australian customers when you've demonstrated speech recognition?
Are you Irish? Are you Irish? Everyone asks. I think there's an amusement initially that I'm there to discuss speech recognition, and I obviously have to slow down the way in which I talk in general conversation. When they see the results, I think it just embellishes. I also allow my clients or prospects to choose the subject that I will dictate about. So it's off the top of my head. It proves to them that it's not something that's pre-arranged, and I think that adds a bit of credence to it. But what I tend to do is do a demonstration and then just continue to talk. And just to let it run on. There's always going to be mistakes, but I think there would always be mistakes in any case. But the accuracy now is to a level that most people would accept. Is there any particular one comment that stood out to you from customers about when they've seen your demonstration of speech recognition? There's quite a few. There's quite a few people don't actually understand what I'm saying, yet they'll see it on screen and then realise that they can piece it together. But we had a demonstration in Adelaide where, unbeknownst to me, Scotch people say "film" strangely. And I was during asking for a topic to discuss. Someone asked me to mention my top 10 films, and giggling throughout. And when I asked them why they were giggling, they were saying that it's the way you say "film," and sure enough, it couldn't get the word. Which made me even more determined. So we'd done a round of corrections, just one round of corrections to put in "film," and sure enough it got it. But I'm very conscious now of saying the word "film," and then when I hear Scotch people saying it, I think it sounds a bit strange.
So what do you think would happen if you walked into a lift that had voice recognition and you tried your accent out today?
I would hope I would keep my calm a wee bit more than the boys. I would expect it to work. The thing is, I think subconsciously we don't necessarily realise how much we use speech recognition. I phoned a taxi to come over here, I used speech recognition. When I'm doing banking, you're using speech recognition. There's so many elements to everyday life, so I'm not surprised. But I think if there's someone else next to me in the lift, they might be.
Great, thank you very much.